Hello, and welcome to the MMA Mic Drop podcast. My name is Jade Bunky. In today's episode, I'm going to break down everything that's about to go down at UFC on ESPN 73, Bonfim versus Brown. For a fight night card at the Apex, this is a really stacked fight card. There are compelling matchups all the way up and down the card. I don't think there are any filler fights, maybe one filler fight, but every fight seems to make sense. Every matchup is compelling. And the main event, Randy Brown versus Gabriel Bonfim, that is an exciting matchup. So if I am to grade this, and I am going to grade it on a curve, I don't grade to the same standard as I would if it was a pay-per-view, but given that this is a fight that goes down at the Apex, I'm giving it an A-. I am really excited about this fight card. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the picks, predictions, odds, how I think the fight is going to play out. And then for each fight, and then I am going to identify who has the best nickname on the fight card and who has the worst nickname. So let's get into it. All right, the main card features Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown. Gabriel Bonfim, I believe, let me just take a quick look. I think he is 18-1. Yeah, he is 18-1. He is 28 years old. He is ranked number 14 in the UFC. He is a rising prospect. His only loss came to Nicholas Dalby, in which he gassed out. Now, his last fight against Stephen Thompson, it was very close. And you do have to be concerned when a top prospect has a close fight with somebody who's 40 years old, even though it is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He's not like any 40, I believe he's 41. He's not like any 40-plus athlete in the UFC. He is built a little differently, but that still gives me cause for concern. Bonfim is really explosive. He is a grappler. He has, I think it's 8 subs on his record. I was wrong. He has 13 subs on his record. So he's 18-1. He has 16 finishes, and of those 16 finishes, 13 came by submission. And I think it was that fight against Trevin Giles, where he just locked in the nastiest guillotine. So he is still a legit prospect, and he's going against Randy Brown. Now, Randy Brown might be the most underrated fighter in the UFC. He is, let me pull up his record real quickly here. He is 20-6, and he is long and rangy. He's a really good striker, throws really clean shots. Has a little bit of power, but doesn't really have one-punch knockout power. And he's unranked, but he should be ranked. When you look at the rankings, you have Mike Malott at number 15 in the welterweight division. He's better than Mike Malott. He is better than number 10 Colby Covington. And even at this stage in his career, he's better than number 12 Jeff Neal. And so even though he's not a ranked opponent for Bonfim, he should be. But what this does for Randy Brown, it gives him an opportunity to get into rankings, and this is a close fight. Now, the odds have, I believe it's Bonfim at a -220, and let me just double check on this. Hold on, let me bring this up. Okay, this says Gabriel Bonfim at -183, Randy Brown at a +158. Not as wide as I thought, and that's good. I mean, this fight really could go either way. I can see Bonfim controlling him in the first round, and then Randy Brown getting the best of him on the feet in the last 2 rounds. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Bonfim is going to pull this off. Give me Bonfim by decision. All right, next up, our co-main event. We have Matt Schnell, and I'm looking up the odds as I talk. We have Matt Schnell versus Joseph Morales. Morales is a -270 favorite. Schnell +220. This is a fun matchup. Schnell, he's kind of fought the who's who of the division. He wins some, he wins some, he loses some. He is a good fighter. He is above average fighter, but he's not an elite level fighter, particularly at this age. He is 35 years old. He is 17-9, and the problem with the 9 losses is that when he loses badly. He's either gets knocked out or he gets subbed. I think he's been finished in 8 of those 9 losses, so that is a bit of a problem. And it's a problem because when you look at Morales, he is a grappler, and I want to see, he is 12-2. Let me see, is that 12-2? Yeah, he is 12-2, and this is his second stint in the UFC. He has, I just want to see, it's a pretty crazy amount of submissions, well, maybe not crazy, yeah. Out of his, 13 wins, 9 of which came by finish. 17 of those are by submission, and he is, he just returned to the UFC. He won his first fight back, and he is on a 4-fight winning streak overall. I think this fight will end early. I think it will end in the second round. Give me Morales by second round. TKO. I surprised you there. I don't think it's going to be a submission. I think he's going to hurt him on the feet first. I think Matt Schnell's chin is absolutely shot, and I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to catch him. He's going to hurt him. He's going to put him out. All right. Next up, Chris Padilla versus Ismael Bonfim. Okay, this is Gabriel's brother. He's not the same level of prospect that Gabriel Bonfim is, but he's good. I mean, he's really good. He is 20-5. He let me just open this up real quickly. He's just slightly the older brother. He is 29 years old. Gabriel Bonfim is 28, and he finishes some fights as well. He has 9 by TKO, 4 by submission, but he's taken on, I think, a really dangerous fighter in Chris Padilla. Chris Padilla is good, and when I'm talking about nicknames, he's tied for the best nickname on this card, Taco. Just pretty random. I don't know. I think that's kind of funny. But that is his nickname, and he has 16 wins. He's 16-6. 13 of those came by finish, and I think he's going to finish the older Bonfim brother. Give me Chris Padilla by third round TKO. And let me just bring in, and I don't know why I have my phone way over here. I'm reaching over to get it. I can just really put it right in front of me. So don't know what I'm doing right now. Okay, Bonfim minus 220 plus 180. All right, let's see. Up next, we have Ricky Simón versus Raoni Barcelos. Another high-quality fight. Ricky Simón is a minus 160 favorite. Barcelos is plus 135. Now, I think this fight comes down to age. Stylistically, they're definitely different. I mean, Ricky Simón is a grappler. He is a really good grappler. He actually trains out of a gym not too far where I'm at, out of Irvine. I'm in Newport Beach, so that's an adjacent city. So I'm definitely going to be rooting for the local guy here, Simón. He is 22-6. He is Barcelos is 20-5, and I think the problem with Barcelos, even though he's coming off, or I think it's two fights ago, a crazy impressive win against Peyton Talbot, a shocking win because I do think Peyton Talbot is a legit prospect. I think he's really good, and I know Raoni Barcelos is a crafty vet, and he's won 3 in a row, which is pretty crazy because he's 38 years old, and I think that's going to be the problem. I think Ricky Simón is going to control him. I think he's going to wear him down. I think he's going to wrestle him constantly, and I think it's going to wear Raoni Barcelos down to an extent where he's going to get tapped. Give me Simón by submission. Submission in the third round. All right, here's the person who is tied with Chris Padilla for the best nickname. It is Muslim Salikhov, the king of Kung Fu. That is an awesome nickname. And when you look at him, he's taken on Uroš Medić. He is so fun to watch. I think he's 41 years old. Yeah, he's 41 years old, and he is on a 3-fight winning streak. And this guy has crazy spinning kicks. He's a fascinating striker. He is so fun to watch. He is slowing down a bit, but he still throws these crazy kicks. He's still very dangerous. The problem is if Uroš Medić pressures him and puts him on the back foot right away, where Muslim Salikhov doesn't have a chance, to really counter or to set up those big kicks. Let's see, Medić, he is 11-3. Salikhov, he is 22-5. And let me just flip back over here for the odds. This makes sense. Medić is a minus 177. Salikhov is a plus 153. If this fight was 3 years ago, I think Salikhov just absolutely destroys him and knocks him out in the first round. And I say that because Medić gets knocked out. In his 3 losses, they're all by finish. And it looks like only one's by knockout. I'm sorry, 2 are by submission. But if you watch the fights he wins, he always gets hurt. And this is a tricky fight to call because Muslim Salikhov, I mean, if he hits him once, I think he can put him out because I don't think Uroš Medić has much of a chin, but I gotta go with youth. And it's a 32-year-old youth, so it's not real youth, but it's a lot younger than 41 years old. Give me Medić by second round TKO. All right, another good fight, a testament to how good this fight card is. Excuse me. Leroy Duncan versus Marco Tulio. Marco Tulio is 14-1. Leroy Duncan is 12-2. I think this is a really compelling matchup. Let me get the odds. Tulio is a -183. Duncan at +158. Like I said, this is a really compelling matchup. Let me just, I'm going to click on something I want to see here with Duncan. Okay, so Duncan is 30 years old. He has 10 finishes out of his 12 wins. He is on a 2-fight winning streak in the UFC. He's won 4 out of 5. Does have a loss in there to Gregory Rodriguez. Look, Gregory Rodriguez is good. But then you go back a little earlier, he has a loss against Armen Petrosyan. Armen Petrosyan is a great kickboxer, but not a well-rounded fighter. So, that's a little concerning. He has that loss there. And then when I look at Tulio, I mean, he has 10 knockouts out of his 15 wins. He is 2-0 in the UFC, and this is a really good fight. I'm going to take Leroy Duncan by decision. And I literally changed my pick right there on the fly. I was going to go with Marco Tulio, but I don't know. I just changed my mind. Before that, we're going to get Hyder Amil versus Jamall Emmers. This is a really good fight as well. Hyder Amil was undefeated until his last fight. I mean, he just lost, and he is 11-1, and that loss was against a Jose Delgado, who is a really good fighter and a really good prospect as well. And he's going against Jamall Emmers, who is 21-8. The problem, and he's an okay fighter. Like, he wins the fights he should win, but he tends to lose against top tier or mid tier talent. But he's a solid fighter, and Hyder Amil is 35, but Jamall Emmers is 36, and you really start to drop off around that 35-year mark. Some start dropping off around 34, but for that reason, and plus I think Amil at his peak was a better fighter than Jamall Emmers. Give me Amil by third round TKO. Oh, and let me pull up the odds real quickly for you here. The site I am looking at does not have odds for that fight. That is interesting. So my apologies, but there are more fights to break down. There are more exciting fights to break down. And speaking of it, it is Adrian Yanez versus Cristian Quiñonez. Yanez, he is 17-6. He is a striker. He is an exceptional striker. And just a few years ago, he was the hype of the bantamweight division until he came across Rob Font. And the problem there is the loss to Rob Font was a little bit of foreshadowing of what's to come, because he has lost 3 out of his last 4 fights. They're all against good competition, but that is a little alarming. I thought Adrian Yanez was a little bit better than that. And, he was this young prospect. He's 31 years old now. I'm sure he's still getting better, and I'm curious to see how good he is. For somebody at this weight class in the bantamweight, he does have a lot of finishes. He has 13 finishes, 11 by TKO or knockout. Let me bring up the odds. And Cristian Quiñonez is, he's 0-2 or he's 1-2 in the UFC. I don't think he's that good, and I think Adrian Yanez is going to light him up. I think this will be an absolute clinic. Adrian Yanez, he's a -235 favorite. Cristian Quiñonez is a +195, and I think Yanez is going to style on him all 3 rounds, and by the 3rd round, he's going to get a finish. So Adrian Yanez by 3rd round TKO is my pick. Let's see. Okay, before that, and that is a great fight to have that early on a prelim on a APEX card. All right, we have two unknowns, basically, two heavyweights, Josh Hokit versus Max Gimenis. Hokit is 6-0, all of which come by finish. Max is 6-1, and neither of these guys have fought really good competition. Both of these guys are not too big for the heavyweight. They both come in around 238. And let me see if I do have odds on this fight right here. Oh wow, Hokit is a minus 410, and that's who I'm going to pick. I think Hokit's going to keep his streak along. Give me Hokit by second round TKO. And let's see, moving on down. Before that, we just have a couple more fights. And again, good fights for ones that are really this far down on the card. Mayra Bueno Silva versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Great matchup. Silva, she is 10-5. Cavalcanti is 9-1. Silva, she fought for a title not too long ago. I mean, and you look at who she's fought. She's fought the who's who of the division, but it looks like she has fallen off a little bit. Let me get the odds real quickly for you. Let me see, where are the odds? Okay, so Cavalcanti is a minus 250. Bueno Silva is a plus 210. I think that line is a little wide, but I do see this fight favoring Cavalcanti. She is the younger fighter. She's only 20. She is only 28 years old. And let's see, her loss, it was a split decision back in 2022 in the PFL. And if I look at what she's done in the UFC, let me just count this. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's 4-0 in the UFC. Not against the best level of talent yet. She hasn't fought the talent that Bueno Silva has fought. But the problem with Silva, she's also 34. I think she's starting to slip. I think she's starting to fall off fall off a bit. Give me Cavalcanti by decision. But a good matchup. I do believe this can go either way. Before that, Miles John takes on Daniel Marcos. This is a really good matchup. Johns, he is 15-4. Marcos 17-1. And Marcos was another hot prospect in the bantamweight division. He is, he was undefeated until he came up against Montel Jackson. It showed that he does have a ceiling, but he is a very good fighter. And so is Miles Johns. Even though he's been up and down, he's explosive, he's athletic, he is fun to watch, although at times he could be a little too methodical. He is, and let me just check, he's coming off, he's on a 2-fight losing streak, but it's to really, really good competition. Felipe Lima, Jin Matsumoto, those are not bad losses. And this fight could go either way, but give me Johns by third round knockout. I do think Daniel Marcos, even though he still is a good fighter, I still thought the hype was a little bit much. I never thought he was going to go on a true title run. Top 15, yes. No, top 5, no way. Tecia Pennington versus Denise Gomes. Pennington, the tiny tornado. She is 15-7. Gomes is 11-3. Tecia, she is small for the division. She is, getting up there. She is on a 2-fight winning streak, but she is 36 years old. And I think I like Denise Gomes in this fight. She's only 25 years old. She has very good power over 11 wins. She has 7 by knockout or TKO. And she is on a 3-fight winning streak. I think Denise Gomes is actually going to get a finish in the third round. And let me get the odds on this one. The odds, let's see. Where are the odds for this fight? Okay, this is another one that they did not list odds on, at least on the site at which I'm looking. So my apologies there, but Gomez is going to win this fight. All right, let's see. What do we have before that? Our first fight of the night is going to be against Jackson McVey versus Robert Valentin. And I told you I was going to tell you the best and worst nickname. Robert Valentin is Robzilla, which I think sounds pretty lame, considering that he's lost 3 in a row in the UFC. If you're going to be Robzilla, you got to fight like Godzilla. And he does not. And Now he does get a pass in his last fight. He was going against Ataba Gautier, who I think is the best prospect in the division. And if you disagree with me on that, you can at least admit he's probably the most dangerous and terrifying person in the UFC in terms of unranked people. So I give him a pass at that. Jackson McVey, he's only 26 years old. He is 6-1. His last loss coming against Bruno Ferreira, and I think he's gonna actually sub Robert Valentin in the second round. Give me McVey by second round submission. That's it. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a good day.